Hey there YouTube, I'm Ikitsu, this is the Ikitsu Times. Welcome to my channel, welcome to a little bit of Crying Suns. So continuing along with our journey here, hopefully we'll get this done pretty quickly. So the path that I'm sort of planning on going for here is to Kidon, Alganubi, Kepler, Tau Elegia, and then to wherever, and then the exit. It doesn't get me a ton of events necessarily, but this system doesn't have any paths that get me a lot of those, and it also gets me lots of shops, and this is the final boss, so we'll see how, well, not final boss, but every sort of 3 levels you fight what is equivalently a final boss, and then you reset everything and go to a different level that just has different types of stuff. What kind of battleship is this? An Imperial battleship. Yeah, I thought so. You're too late. Too late for what? To Carbon, Admiral. I think this, if I recall correctly, this is actually a trap. How can we help you? I think you already know, by letting us join your ship. Oh, this is a different one. Alright. You made a smart choice, Admiral. No one will fight harder or more bravely for you. Come on, let's find some scrappers to squash. I'm thinking of a different one. That's 9 troops, holy crap. That is a lot of Marines. Okay, I was thinking of the one... I can't even remember the other one. There's a similar one to that one, and it ends poorly. I'm going to also go ahead and upgrade our squadron docks here. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump over to the next system here, or next thing. So I can hit up the ejected cryopod. So realistically nothing I could get in either of these that would be another person, so the ejected cryopod now is just as well as later. Hopefully we get a special character. Picking up a distressing. Actually, is this the final? No, this is the middle one. This is Sector 2. Okay, so this is a plot thing. I'll ask what the Xeno is. So you'll always encounter this on your road to Mother, but we'll go ahead and question him. We'll bring him over to the planet, or our ship, put him in the brig, and then we'll get a chance to do some questioning. And he'll give us a bunch of lore, which is, broadly speaking, useless. It's a rehash of what we talked about on that guy at the planet in the first episode. You saved me, Admiral, blah blah blah. Ask about the shutdown, or I can ask about where Mother is. I'll ask about the shutdown in this case. Why would he know anything? Blah blah blah. Ask where Mother is. She's at the end of the sector by the folder, blah blah blah. Now what he does actually tell us is about a sort of prophetess that huffs like rocket fuel to get visions. So we are going to just say that we'll release him in exchange for the information. And he'll put a marker on there. So yeah, actually we're in Sector 2, because that's when we get this. But this is a guaranteed sort of thing there. So this will give us a sort of option to go to a place later that's going to give us some information and some lore. I don't actually know if it's important, but it feels like it might come in handy later. It might be one of those ones where, like, later on in the game you end up in a situation where you have to know that. Alright, so the only one that can potentially succeed in any relevant way is this one. Like, this would be pretty risky to go on this mission, so definitely feeling like this would be the better option, even though this would be way more stuff. My odds of being able to open the cryopod are pretty low doing it this way, though. Which is unfortunate, because ultimately that's kind of what I want to be going through here. Ambushed, bunch of damage, couple deaths. Oh no, it's fine. Planetary defense turret wreckage? Nothing. I hate that you have to get both of those. I really wish you got something for doing this. Oh, we actually got that one. And we got a special, Anton Onimus is a special character who's got more skills than normal. I don't think he's actually someone who's going to be super helpful for us in this particular instance, but he is better than normal. Just because he gets 3 skills as well as 8 hit points and some other stuff. So, new officer DNA unlocked, Anton Onimus, so... get the feeling he might be lying about his name a little bit, so we definitely don't need quite this many friggin' scientists, but whatever. We could probably get rid of this one at some point in time. This guy's got advanced critical repair, so we can put him on the hull here. That's gonna be fine. It's not really that relevant, but might as well. But yeah, he's much more powerful on planetary expeditions, partly because he's got more hit points, but also because he's got 3 of those skills that makes him much more likely to be able to get through those effectively. It's kind of unfortunate that it is him, though, because he is the one that has those sort of skill sets. What is it, Lieutenant? If we could take a moment to learn the loss of those who passed away. This is, if I recall correctly, you spend a little bit to recover the health of your crew. If anyone's wounded, none of us is wounded, so... gonna get some of that. We've got plenty of commandos right now, so we don't need any of that. I could get a Piercer Laser Mark III, which is pretty powerful. It's 1 damage per second, which is pretty high up there. And we could sell our Mark 1. I'm gonna do that. I feel like that's a pretty good call. But you also got the option to get some of this stuff here. So the Mark III Impaler, like any of the Impaler type, has an ability that lets it fire at the enemy battleship, giving it a pretty hefty hit there. The problem is that this thing doesn't fire properly against enemy fighters and stuff like that, which is more important in our case. The drone is not that useful for us, and the parasite type drone is not that useful for us because we'd be taking over something that's weak and sort of not very effective. So we're gonna just sort of leave all that behind here, just unfortunately. But it is nice to have that extra powerful laser there. That's a pretty good one. And we'll head here because we got enough fuel, but I probably should actually be ignoring this spot. Incoming message. Hello, is anyone there? This is Admiral Idaho, the NS Odysseus. Admiral, I'm so happy we contacted you. You have to help us. Ask what the problem is. Our planetary radiation shield. Okay, I don't believe that I can do too much here, but I'll do this just to be nice. We got plenty of scrap in this run, so yeah, he doesn't give us anything, but you know, I think he's basically screwed regardless. So, all right. Next up is to this one, which has a mercenary outpost. We're going to head there before we actually go to the planetary one, because we might get somebody who's got a set of combat skills or something like that that we don't otherwise have. Good thing we found you there. This piece of junk's about to blow and take us with it. Ask how we can help. Yep, and, well, we've got plenty of commandos, so let's sacrifice a bunch of them. Doesn't sound like we made it. Oh, made it by the skin of our teeth, sir, but we got those passengers off that porter. Good men are in shock, sir, and I can't blame them. It's tough to see civilians like that, even when they're safe and sound in the rescue pod. If I've talked to them, sir, they tell me they're impressed by our kindness. Wouldn't be surprised if they end up joining the cause, Admiral. Yep. We didn't actually need to risk that, but honestly, it didn't really matter, so it's kind of like those ones are always weird. Like, you risk 4 commandos to gain 4 commandos is a really sort of awkward exchange. But in any event, let's go to the mercenary outpost. Hopefully, we can get someone who's got like some piloting skills or something like that, or we'll encounter a pirate. So this one's an interesting one. You can actually say offer the pirate a chance to surrender, and he'll just leave and give us some stuff. It's about as much as we would actually get from killing him, so yeah, I'm not too sure about that fella. He's a little bit whatever, but you know, wow, none of these guys have combat skills. You sons of bitches. Alright, now battleship shielding would potentially be a good thing for us to get here. Hull repair is also pretty powerful. Now I believe that we don't have persuasion. They also don't have persuasion. You guys are just absolute bollocks. Alright, I'm gonna grab your fuel. I don't know, like, that feels just grossly improbable to me, but whatever. Let's just head to the friggin' abandoned auto factory. We got lucky and got anonymous over here, which is not great, but it's fine. Alright, so this does nothing. That's fine. That's lovely. Let's check out here. Now, he's not always going to be the best, but he's much more likely to be better, so it makes it much more likely that you'll get a lot of stuff. Like in this case, he gets through with like losing less commandos, gets a decent amount, and he's guaranteed to survive, so. And we've got 2 things, abandoned auto factory and a secret military base. He's also much more likely to be able to get from those sort of things, so. Is a good idea to send in him, in this case. And yeah, like, that was an awkward combination. How was I supposed to get that normally? Also a fairly awkward combination, so, you know, avoided some pretty good danger there. Ooh, okay, Drone Mark II crafted. This creates extra little drones. It's not great in this sector, but for other sectors it's actually pretty okay. By which I mean, depending on which level you're on, you have different types of enemies to face. Crafter does not necessarily work too well against the scrappers, because the scrappers just throw endless waves of suicide drones against you. So being able to get an extra drone is not really that great. Alright, let's get to Kepler over here. Got some lovely events to do, some stuff to deal with. Hopefully we'll get something interesting here. Haven't had a fight in a while. There's the Letho, a civilian ship. Please, you have to help us. We were in a little dust-up with a key back there, and now our thrusters are leaking NEO end. We tried landing, but they're blah blah blah. Unfortunately, there's literally nothing you can do for these guys. Listening in, we're equipped with a drone decontamination program, but it needs NEO end to operate. Also, sir, our readings indicate extreme NEO end particle contamination on the ship. We can ease their suffering, but I'm afraid there's very little we can do beyond that. So, yeah, we can't help them. I have tried this in a bunch of different ways, and literally, no matter what happens, they all die, so there's nothing I can do to help. And they get mad at you for, like, yeah. That's fine. You lose a couple of those. The other option is you lose the NEO end, and you bring them in, and then they die anyway, so, yeah. Nothing you can do about that. Kosh battleship. How lucky you are to see the full splendor of my battleship from your command center. I can only see a fraction of it from mine. So the Kosh are another of the factions that you can fight. One of the sectors is dedicated like entirely to the Kosh, just like how there's sectors that are dedicated fully to pretty much every other faction out there. In this particular case, we're up against a lot of fighters and a single frigate. So we don't necessarily need this many fighters, but we can actually throw out the drone Mark II crafter. It is still a drone that is pretty much good at being a drone, I guess. And yeah, we need to make sure that's against the frigate. Actually, yeah, yeah, probably the crafter. We'll put it back here, though. And we'll figure out where they're dropping these fighters and stuff like that. Now, the problem here is that these drones, I don't want them fighting for a little bit. So we're going to go on the defensive for a moment here. And we'll see if we can't get our guys out here. Alright, and we'll fire this into these guys. Yeah, I didn't quite get those guys to fire their drones off just yet. Oh, shit. Okay, so this fella here needs to go back home. You guys probably should also go back home. But I have got the hull breaker about to fire here. Got some other drones and some other fighters that we can launch here. We're starting to get into the meat of, like, tougher fights, but this guy doesn't have very many good weapons or anything like that, so... Mostly all about those, fighter bays, it looks like. God damn it. Okay, let's get you over. Actually, let's do this. Shit. We're probably going to lose a bunch of these things here, take some damage from them. There's not a ton I can do here. I'm more interested in just trying to take this stuff out here. Really? That thing loads faster than those guys can craft anything, so that's kind of garbage, but... yeah, so we are going to have to repair all this garbage. Alright, you take a hit. Who else is deployable right now? You are kind of deployable. God damn it. Okay. Hit you. Okay. Well, we got it. Managed to dodge it this time. And launch another one of these guys. That side, please. Alright, there we go. A lot of these got damaged, but you know what? That's relatively fine. Second Kosh battleship, sir. Pity I couldn't get here in time to save my sister ship. I can still kill you. Great. Alright. Twice as much loot. Alright, so this is an anti-squadron defense battery. This one's the capturable variety, which is lovely. This guy's also got a heavy amount of fighter support and stuff like that. Hopefully he doesn't have the same kind. He has the X-beam. That's even more annoying because I'm very bad at detecting the letter X. You wouldn't think that that's a problem that could possibly be had, but it totally is. Alright, so we want to try and capture this thing. See if we can't do a little bit of something here. Capture that. Oh, those got knocked out. That's fine though. Sure, we're attacking their squadron deployment. Oh god, bloody heck. So they have the yeah, they've got the whole defense thing, damage over time. Moving you to here. Taking you down a bit. Alright. Put these guys in there so that they get the defense from the, that thing. Bloody heck. I'm just gonna keep firing at that. I don't care that all my stuff's gonna get wrecked. It's relatively fine. They shield that? This thing's, like, kind of located in a really stupid spot. Alright. Are you? Oh, what the hell? Okay, that felt partly kind of cheap, but you know what? Whatever. Alright. Now, I do have to hurry up a bit here, but should be relatively fine in this instance. Got a decent amount of time here. Let's knock out that. This must be a trait of the faction. Ow, that hurt. These are all going to explode in a second. It's kind of fine. Alright, got that slowed down a bit. If I recall correctly, the flaw that their ships had is that they take longer to deploy squadrons. God damn it. 2 hit points, really? We're just about at that point where I can fire, though. And if I take some damage to the hull, it's not actually that big a deal. Alright, there we go. Well, that kind of sucked, but whatever. Still net positive. As crazy as that sounds. Seems there's some Imperial ship remnants. You know, speaking, looks like they were trying to repair it when they were attacked. Poor bastards trying to do a thing like that and end up getting murdered. Decent amount of scrap there, so I think they'd want us to have it. Perfect. Alright, so, like I said, we're probably going to go ahead and head up to Tau Elegia. I wouldn't necessarily mind getting more advanced fighters, but this is kind of okay here. We've got so much scrap that it's better for us to head to the shipyard straight away, buy as much stuff as we can get, or care to get, and then spend upgrades afterwards, so... PRM, civilian ship. Imperial ship, who knew we'd ever be happy to see the likes of you? We're a group of prisoners, blah blah blah. So they'll get us a weapon if we give them some Neo-N. So I'm gonna do that. They're criminals that tell us that they're not really that criminally of criminals, so, you know, it's fine to trust them. I've never seen them not give me a weapon in this event here, so... Dark Matter Cannon, Mark II. It's technically worth more money to give them the Neo-N than it is to keep it, usually. Even if you don't end up keeping the weapon, and with Dark Matter Cannon I probably won't. It's not a very good weapon. Hello, Imperial Battleship. Well, since you're here, maybe you can help us with a problem, a very serious problem. It's our colony's birth rates. Okay, so basically, they use machines to keep their colony under control as far as population growth goes. But now that the computers are down, it's sort of like going crazy and their population's exploding. So we can go ahead and ask about this, but basically it's just to prevent like overpopulation, overcrowding on these planets. We can get a specialist to go down there and fix it. Not entirely sure that's a good thing that they are using this sort of thing, but whatever, you know, I guess. Alright, I'm gonna pick up some more fuel here, at least 3. Could repair all these, but we've also got access to things like the emergency frigate there. Could also get the frigate Mark III. I actually kind of like the idea of potentially getting this one, because it is way, way better than the Mark I. Alright, so we'll repair everything. Do I want to get the emergency retreat thrusters? I kind of like this. I kind of like the idea of getting this, so we will. Alright, we're pretty much good to go otherwise. We do have the dark matter cannon that we can sell here. Alright, so I think that's about everything. Don't really care to get the crafter. We already got one, and then even though we've got the weaker one, it's not that big a deal. It's a battle damaged scrapper ship there. This is where we risk taking some damage to our fighters. We'll try and get the scrap. Sounds like we exploded. So we'll have a couple damaged fighters. Yep. No casualties. Yep, squadron damage. Yep, 2 of them wrecked. It's the Mark 1s at least, but still. That one's not, like, the best risk to take, but I can afford to take it here. You're a sight for decaying eyes. Prepare to fight. That's a peculiar way to introduce yourself. Jeez. Alright. All fighters. All the time. This is where it's nice that we got this guy. It's not actually all the time, but... Alright. So it's really easy for us to recall our ships when they get heavily damaged. So, unlike for a lot of other people, we can actually just retreat back with whatever it is we're using and get out of the fight really effectively. Okay, so these fellas here have taken a decent amount of damage. Let's go ahead and retreat them. I'm gonna keep you guys in the back here. The reason we're doing this is that we have out-weaponed these guys, and I would rather have something like the crafter drone go out to attack them when we get the chance to. So we're going to try and keep these guys safe here for a bit. These guys are all going to be exploding drones, which is a bit unfortunate. Okay, so this guy has to head... Nope, okay, they moved to me. Gonna take a little bit of damage here from the explosion, but second explosion, third explosion. Incoming message, they want to surrender. I'm going to refuse since we don't need troops, and because I'm a vicious sort of person. Alright, this thing, we'll recall it, just in case I need to send out fighters again. delay this. Alright. They're trying to stop me essentially from doing this. Tesla Field Generator Mark II. Actually, this is one of those rare instances where I think I would have been better off taking the stuff from them. No, actually, Tesla Field Generator is not a terrible weapon. It's a weird one for dealing damage to fighters. Damage over 5, and it's actually really effective in this sector against this type of enemy. Let's get an additional weapon dock and throw that on there. So you can use this to really easily kill a bunch of the scrapper fighters because they have so few hit points. So this is pretty effective for us. I still want to get that 4th bay for fighters though. That'll cost 450. Alright, R&D, come with our head hung in shame. You know we have the best interests of the ship at heart, don't you? Well, we were trying to build you a new weapon to help obliterate our enemies, and all we needed was one more part to finish it. And we knew of a smuggler ship nearby, a pirate. He had the part, you see. So we did a trade, giving him some of our scrap. Not a lot, but a little. It was a dud, sir. We were fooled. We hope you can find it yourself to forgive us. Any way to make up for this loss of scrap? Well, maybe. Some of our squadrons have a part that is almost completely useless. We could scrap this part. At the expense of our squadron integrity. Unfortunately, yes. I don't mind. Yeah, losing the drone Mark 1 is actually also not that bad. Alright. So, at this point in time, we should be we're pretty much ready to fight the boss. Like, realistically speaking, we can fight the boss no problem with what we have here. Because it's not the final boss for the chapter. Snort Neo-N powder and destroy battleships and all out of Neo-N powder. Fantastic, good for you. Do you have any bubblegum perchance? You know, just maybe. Maybe just chill a little bit. Alright, put that fellow over here, you over here, you over here. So we're just gonna defend ourselves a little bit here until we've got some drones coming in through the through this thing. And also, like, we'll be pretty capable of just really wiping them out when their second wave comes out here. Could launch this in this area here. I don't really want to. I don't think it's necessary here. Alright. The heat resistance on this ship is just garbage. Alright. So I'm gonna hit retreat on this fellow. He might be able to get away just because of those upgrades. Nope, looks like he exploded. Alright, so I'm gonna have you guys head out and engage with this. That'll probably explode. Not firing you guys for some reason when I should be. Kaboom. Let's have you head up here and just delay them a little bit longer. Deal some damage to that hull as well, make them distracted. Alright, so I think we hit that there. I could hit this guy and have that explode, actually. Probably a little bit better, all things considered. Oops. Shit. Doesn't really matter, we'll be fine. Alright, you guys head back home, let's just fire this off. Lily Wilson, that's different. Are you a specialist, or are you just a normal? You're just a normal, darn. Finally a soldier, though. Advanced critical repair? Okay. You would have been a godsend like ages ago, and unfortunately you were not here ages ago, so you're kind of useless to me. You're dead to me, really. I mean, come on. God damn it. Alright. Let's hit up this thing here just in case they have a lot of good stuff that I could buy. Damaged civilian tanker. I think... Hard to think what happened to his crew, but we're in luck, sir. Missing Neo-N and refueling tech. I don't get the refueling tech because we're already capped on that, unfortunately. Alright, let's hit the shipyard. Pre-shutdown ad on this beacon. You can always ignore the ads and stuff like that, same as in real life. We could pick up a Cruiser Mark III longbow. Just field generator. Every time you encounter a mooring battleship or an alert risk on anomaly, there's a 50% chance that your thing, blah blah blah. Works cooling system. It's pretty powerful, but pretty expensive. I'm highly tempted to actually grab the longbow in this case. It's got a 3-range attack and can just sort of one-shot a lot of the ships that we'll be fighting. So you can use it as a sort of screen and then sort of recall it and then swap it out for something that's more offense-orientated afterwards. But you can use this to let the crafting drone really sort of get to work there. And that's pretty much every single ounce of scrap that we had, so we don't really have anything else here that we want to get rid of, so actually we could sell off one of our officers, because if we get a new one that actually has a better ability, then we would obviously want to get that. So you don't offer us really anything, so probably a good sell. Definitely not you. Alright, so we'll sell off an officer. I don't know why you can't just have them like further back in the ship or something like that. There's obviously plenty of room for like commandos and stuff like that. Oh well. Anyway, off we go to the second sub-boss. And they will fight us with fairly little pomp and ceremony, honestly. One of Mother's sector bosses. You're that imp that took care of Skedge in the last sector. I am, and I'll take care of you if you get my way. Mom told me to kill you nice and dead. Now I see why. You're kind of mean. Oh boy. Alright, so the longbow is going to be interesting against these guys because they can one-shot a lot of their ships. So I'm going to stick that there. I'm going to stick you here, and you are going to go up here and then defend the longbow. So I'm going to have to maneuver this little guy to get this thing defended properly, but see? Just instantly sort of wipes all their stuff out. Okay, that's done. You up there. And we can actually get an unlimited number of these little drones here. Okay, so you're ready to fire. That gets us some time. That buys us some more time. I'm just gonna pop that here, even though it's gonna damage my own stuff a bit. I probably should have put it somewhere else, but you know what? It's fine. Alright, so you head up here. You fire here. You can really see the effectiveness of this sort of like strategy of using the longbow as a defensive thing here. That is really what it's for, is as a defensive sort of thing. Lets me have time to produce more stuff from the crafter. Lets me fire off more shots. Just keep pumping these guys out, sending them off to die, it's fine. I should be able to win that. Alright, and that is going to be victory. 660 bucks, we'll be able to completely fill out our roster of fighters, which is great. And yeah, on to Sector 3 of 3, where we'll fight Mother, who is absolutely revolting looking, but you know, that's fine. She can do whatever it is she's doing to make herself look whatever. Yeah, it's fine. Things are fine. I'm gonna go ahead and buy all the fuel here. Still don't need any commandos. Everything else here is pretty much fine. So anyway, that is going to be our episode for today. Hope you found this one enjoyable, and of course, as always, hope to see you guys all next time.